Let's move on to the Las Vegas Raiders, and there is a new face calling the plays on the defensive side of the ball. Patrick Graham comes over from the New York Giants, former defensive coordinator for the Giants, now right behind Josh McDaniels as his defensive coordinator in Las Vegas. And guys, I saw this pop up in the doc, and I'm like, man, let me find some research. Let me dig deep on Patrick Graham. And then I saw this.
Have you has your defense gotten accomplished what you wanted to the first 3 practices?
Hell no. Am I allowed to say that?
You just did.
I mean, I'm a coach now. I mean, come on. we got a lot of stuff to improve on. No. They're working hard, but no. We have the standard's the standard. The standard's the standard. And, like Coach said, we're trying to build championship habits, and it's a process. So it's an imperfect game, but we're striving to be perfect. And so if you ask me as a coach, no. So, but they're working at it. They're working at it. Sorry for the language. Don't tell my mom.
This dude seems great. How do you not root for this guy?
Love
like
that
all
dude.
and all of his this entire he had a 12-minute presser where like every other question came with some type of laugh and some type of just clowning her. It's great. This guy, I am rooting for Patrick Graham now. Go ahead, AJ.
Two quick things. First off, love the fact that he freaked out that he said hell. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
That's not normally the one that people freak out about. And secondly, that thumbnail photo of him does not do him justice. I kept looking. I was like, is that the same person?
Yeah, he definitely looked like he packed on a few pounds in Vegas. I guess before.
I was wondering how that worked because that was what even the Vegas website has as him. And I saw that. I was like, good for him. Good for him. Okay. Good for him.
Yeah, he's been working a lot at them strip clubs.
Yeah.
Vegas been offering that extracurricular activity for that man.
Oh, Jesus. We're going to have to. Where's the fine print in his contract? He's got to do certain hours. All right. Patrick Graham, though, comes in, a new defensive coordinator for the Raiders. Aaron, he talked about the process. What does that process look like for Patrick Graham, and what do you expect to see from his new look defense?
I think we're talking about a guy that's looking to change a culture, right? The Raiders defense hasn't been very good over the past decade and a half. I mean, it's been one of those defenses we kind of just overlook. I think with the addition of a Chandler Jones, it's going to allow Patrick Graham to instill the kind of defense he wants. Patrick Graham is a guy who likes to run multiple defenses, is not just some zone or man guy. He likes to mix things up. He primarily will run out of 3-4, which I think is actually going to help Chandler Jones because he's going to have sometimes where he's standing up and sometimes where he's putting his hand in the dirt. And I think with the Chandler Jones and Max Crosby on the outside, I think that helps him create leverage. I think it helps him look in multiple fronts. You're talking about a guy that runs a ton of zone defenses, especially on early downs. Zone defense for a team that doesn't have the best cornerback play over the course of the years, it allows them to keep their eyes in the backfield, jump quarterback routes, and be more aggressive without giving up big plays. And I think that's big for a young defense that struggled over the past few seasons. Go to man on 3rd and long, being able to be physical. I think you just be able to instill his mentality into a team that doesn't know any better. I mean, you're talking about a team that hasn't been very good. So being able to run multiple things, blitz more on 3rd and 4th downs, being able to run mixture coverages out of cover 2, cover 3, cover 6, whatever it is. And then trying to, again, on those money downs, 3rd downs, being able to just tell your defenders, get bodies on them, be physical, and then go make plays. I think that's going to be important for this young defense. And Graham, look, we've seen what he did with the Giants. I think he's going to do great things with the Raiders as well.
I think there's a lot of potential in that defensive group for the Raiders. You obviously talk about Max Crosby, bringing in Chandler Jones, a lot of young players on that defense. Trevon Moehrig is there. We all liked him coming out in the draft. I mean, this is a defense that has a lot of potential, I think. Dylan,
do you see the energy though? Like, I think that's the biggest thing I saw, the energy and what Robert Saleh, every great defensive coordinator, even the Ryan brothers, like, think about the energy that they present when they're on just in front of a camera or in front of their defense. He has that.
He's got that drive. That's what we want out of a Raiders defense.
He did it in New York though. Like that team was terrible. And then but
their defense wasn't. Their defense was good.
They found, and that started in the secondary. I'll tell you one guy they love. they've raved about him. He's only, I mean, camp started Monday. It's Wednesday morning now. They're all about Nate Hobbs, their slot corner from last year. That dude was a beast. Started 9 games for him, and they're raving all about him. A nice little nickel cornerback there to play some slot. I mean, he does everything there on that defensive side. They've been raving about him. They bring in a Rock Yassin. They try to improve that defense at the cornerback position, and then I think there's a lot of promise on the secondary side of things as well.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, they went and got a bunch of veterans. Like they had some underrated moves that people really didn't talk about. One of my favorite guys that was a free, Jayon Brown, which I believe I had him in my top 20 at free agency. He ended up going there and he wasn't signed at first. Denzel Perriman being there, Chandler Jones obviously coming over, and then you're looking for steps. They added Rock Yassin. We'll see if he can kind of fill that void. But then you're talking about guys that we look to get better. Jonathan Abram maybe being more efficient this year. Trayvon Mullen being a little bit better. I know he's starting on PUP, but hopefully he can come in and take another step forward. I think you're going to see a different team. Again, the energy, the physicalness, just the ability to kind of be multiple is going to be huge for them. And I think what you're talking about is a culture change. Not to mention, let's not forget that he coached in New England. And who is now the head coach? A New England guy. So they're bringing over a different type of culture. They got a New England GM, a New England head coach, and a defensive guy that came from New England as well. I think they're just trying to change that culture, and it's a good start.
Yeah, we could not talk about this big addition for the Las Vegas Raiders and bringing in Devonta Adams, now joining his former college quarterback in Derek Carr. We know the story. We know the love connection. We know the relationship. But what about the adjustments? This is what Devonta Adams had to say about going from Aaron Rodgers to Derek Carr.
I mean, anytime you change quarterbacks from, a Hall of Famer to Hall of Famer, you go, Stabler to Rich Gannon or whoever you go to, it's going to be a little bit of an adjustment. And, both are great players and great to be around. So I'm just enjoying that process and getting better myself, trying to do as much as I can to help these guys go out there and win as many games as we can.
So let's skip over the fact that he said that Derek Carr is a Hall of Famer. Let's just skip over that because this is just another receiver, just another teammate showing out for his boy. We've seen Tyreek Hill do it with Tua. We see Devonta Adams doing it with Derek Carr. But his answer to talking about the adjustments with going from Rodgers to Derek Carr was very cookie cutter in my opinion.
You just glossed over the fact he told you everything you needed to know in that soundbite.
He's going to bat for him. That's his boy.
No. Oh, you guys missed it. You guys all missed it. He said it's like going. He even equated to Raiders. He said it's going from Kenny Stabler to Rich Gannon to Hall of Famers. Rich Gannon was not a Hall of Famer. Mark my words, he wasn't a Hall of Famer. He's calling Derek Carr a Hall of Famer, but he's calling him Rich Gannon at the same time. He's letting him know, like, hey, we think we know he's good, and this is my boy. I'm going to give him credit. I'm going to call him a Hall of Famer, but we know he's not a Hall of Famer. He told you exactly what he was doing in the soundbite. He's a very smart man.
He sort of rescinded the comments the next day too. He hopped on. They told him about him, and he basically did. He said, "Look, I understand how some people, the media, jumped me for that, and it's going crazy on the social media and stuff." He's like, "Derek's a good quarterback. It's an adjustment when you go from a Hall of Fame quarterback and to another quarterback. Essentially, like it was just going from that." And he said, "There's still an adjustment to be made," which plays off of Vinny's question.
Yeah, like I was gonna say in that soundbite that I had, his answer was, I mean, other than you guys diving really, really deep and trying to read in between the lines, his answer to the adjustments of going from Aaron Rodgers to Derek Carr was almost cookie cutter, in my opinion. So AJ, what are the adjustments that Derek Carr and Devonta Adams have to make to build up that chemistry in training camp?
I mean, the best part about this for these guys is that, to me, they're learning a new system together. And some people may say that may be a disadvantage because it would have been nice for Devonta Adams to come in and Derek Carr bring him along and bring him up to speed. But now they get to go through the motions together. Now they get to see what works and what doesn't work. So these type of adjustments with me, we know the relationship. We know the trust they have, and that's the easiest part. But it's just getting these little small intricacies down. The timing routes. Are you there when I need you to be there? Are you there because the ball's there? Is Derek Carr able to throw it on time? Other than that, you're looking at a talented guy. We're talking about a guy that's averaged 119 catches over the last 2 seasons in Devonta Adams. You're talking about a guy that Derek Carr knows is the best receiver in the game, and he's going to be able to just trust his talent more often than not. something to me that's a little bit more important of an adjustment is if we think back to this team as a whole and what they went through last year, this is really the beginning of a brand new era. And if I'm Derek Carr, and if I'm Devonta Adams, I'm thinking of us two as the leaders of this team. And can we bring that energy? Can we bring that work ethic and make sure it's matched by every single person down the line, whether it's the running backs, whether it's the rest of the receivers? Can we make sure that we've looked at this season? We didn't finish where we wanted to last year. We've done everything in our power to make sure we are ahead. Can we bring everybody else along? Devonta Adams is super talented. He's going to be fine. The trust he has with Derek Carr, it's 10 years since they played, by the way. So, let's not act like they're going to come in day one, snap their fingers, and it's going to be magic again. I don't think that's how it works. But I think they have a better chance of rekindling that chemistry faster than a lot of other duos can because their relationship is so strong, because their friendship is on that level, and they don't cookie cutter around their communication and their trust. They're going to make sure they do everything in their power that they're the absolute best they can be starting this season off.
Is it like riding a bike? Like when you go, like when you leave your quarterback and then you come back to him years later, does it just eventually just come back like the connection and everything?
Fun fact. He's never left Derek Carr. They work out every offseason together. Yeah. Every single offseason. They're not friends just like, oh, I played with them in college. These dudes are literally like best friends. Like they work out and we know we never see Devonta Adams workouts during the summer because he doesn't post them on. These dudes work out in California together every summer.
I feel like that's a shot at Michael Thomas. It
probably is a shot at Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas supporters come holler at me. But no, real talk. Like, yes, they haven't been on the football field in a game together.
Yeah.
But these dudes have worked out together. Their friendship, their timing, they do have an advantage to AJ's point before coming into training camp saying, oh, we haven't played together in 10 years. They do have an advantage there. I told you being a receiver and a quarterback is all about trust. These two trust each other. I have zero doubts that they'll be on the same page come ready to go week one. I just don't. They're that close.
Yeah. Michael Thomas likes the Red Zone channel too much.